Jai, Navadvip Dham ki Jai, Jagannath Puri ki Jai, Ganga Mai ki Jai, Jamuna Mai ki Jai, Tulsi Devi ki Jai, Bhakti Devi ki Jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Okay, what number do we have? 4, 82. 84, 82 to 88. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 482. Govinda Nandani Radha Govinda Mohini Govinda Sarvasha Sarva Kanta Shiromani Govinda Nandani Radha Govinda Mohini Govinda Sarvashva Sarvakanta Shiromani. Someone else. Govinda Nandani Radha Govinda Mohini Govinda Sarvasha Sarvakanta Shiromani Govinda Nandani Radha Govinda Mohini Sarvakanta Shiromani Govinda Nandani Radha Govinda Mohini Govinda Sarvasha Sarvakanta Shiromani Govinda Nandani Radha Govinda Mohini Ladies. Govindanandani, she who gives pleasure to Govinda. Radha, Srimati Radharani. Govinda Mohini, she who mystifies Govinda. Govinda Sarvasha, the be-all and end-all of Lord Govinda. Sarvakanta, of all the Lord's lovers. Shiromani, the crown jewel. Radha is the one who gives pleasure to Govinda, and she is also the enchantress of Govinda. She is the be-all and end-all of Govinda, and the crest jewel of all his consorts. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadhati Shapadantikam Vandehang Sri Guru Sri Jatapadakamalang Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatan Vitam Stam Sajimam Sadvaitam Savatutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lolita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha E Krishna Koruna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kamshana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hori Priye Mancha Kolpitarubhyascha Kripa Sindho Pyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Now let's solve a mystery. What are you doing there? Texting? What are you doing? Texting? Okay, so now it's time to put your phone in your pocket or someplace else. Maybe sit a little to the side of Prabhupada also, so your back is not to Prabhupada. Thank you very much. Okay. So we're reading the confidential reasons for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance in the book entitled Follow the Angels, compiled from talks by Srila B.R. Sridhar Maharaj. He mentions that during the time of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he allowed the devotees to read the entire Chaitanya Charitamrita, but there were certain sections they were not allowed to discuss. One was the upper portion of Ramananda Samvad, the discussions between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai. And another, if I remember properly, is this fourth chapter of Adi Lila, because there are so many confidential topics discussed in these sections. Nonetheless, there's no harm here in our discussing these verses. These are names of Srimati Radharani, Govindanandini, one who gives pleasure to Govinda, Govinda Mohini, who enchants Govinda, Govinda Sarvashva, Sarvasha mat sarvasha padambodo radha madana mohana. Sarvasha means the be all and end all, one's life and soul, like that. Sarvasva, one's complete own self. So she's the life and soul of Govinda, be all and end all of Govinda. And Sarvakanta Shiromani. Money means jewel, and Shiromani, the one that goes on top of the head, the crown jewel, topmost jewel among the Gopi friends of Lord Krishna, consorts. Then this is a verse from the Brihad Gautamiya Tantra. Devi Krishna Mai Prokta Radhika Paradevata Sarva Lakshmi Mai Sarva Kanti Sammohini Para. The transcendental goddess Srimati Radharani is the direct counterpart of Lord Sri Krishna. She is the central figure for all the goddesses of fortune. She possesses all the attractiveness to attract the all-attractive personality of Godhead. She is the primeval internal potency of the Lord. Now, Srila Kaviraj Goswami will explain all these terms. Devi kohi dyotamana parama shundari kimba Krishna puja kridar avasati nagari. The word Devi means resplendent and most beautiful, or else it means the lovely abode of the worship and love sports of Lord Krishna. The general meaning of Devi is goddess, but here very particular meanings are being given. Krishna Mai, Krishna Jar, Vitore Bahire, Yaha Yaha Netra Pore, Taha Krishna Spure. Krishna Mai means one who's within and without our Lord Krishna. She sees Lord Krishna wherever she casts her glance. Mai means like made of. Anandamayi, made of bliss. So here, Krishna Mai, she's made of Krishna. Her Biture Bahire, her inside and outside are Krishna. She's non-different from Krishna, and she's absorbed in Krishna consciousness, always thinking of Krishna. So, and her activities are the activities of devotional service to Krishna. So Krishna Mai, she's absorbed in Krishna. Yaha Yaha Netra Pare Taha Krishna Spure. Wherever her eyes go, there she sees Lord Krishna manifest. This is the vision of the Paramhansa devotees also, the perfected devotees. What is that? Stavra Jangame Deki Nadeki Tarmurti. What is that? Yeah, find the verse if you can. Ishtadeva Spurti. Wherever the devotee looks, he sees Stavra Jangama Deki. He sees things that are living entities or whatever, moving and non-moving. Maybe you don't have to talk so loudly in the back of the Pujari room, Mataji, because it comes right here. Okay, she's all right. Archita Brahma. So Stavra Jangama means moving and non-moving. Deki, he sees, but Nadeki Tarmurti, he doesn't exactly see the moving and non-moving things. Rather, wherever he looks, yeah, go ahead. Did you find it? Wherever he looks, he sees Ishtadeva Spurti, sees Krishna. No, you're not even close, you're in the wrong book. Stavara Jangamadeki, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Ramananda Roy was seeing Lord Chaitanya to be Krishna, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dismissed it. No, that's the nature of a pure devotee. Wherever he looks, he sees Krishna. But that is Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much. Stavara Jangama Deki Nadeke Nadeke Tarmurti Sarvatrohoy Nija Ishtadeva Spurti Sarvatrohoy. Wherever he looks, he sees his own beloved deity, Krishna. Yes, sees Krishna everywhere. So this consciousness has its perfection in Srimati Radharani. We read she's seeing a tamal tree to be Krishna because it's blackish like Krishna. In this way, wherever she looks, she sees Krishna. This is the nature of love. Prabhupada gives the example that a child who's grown up, but the mother, looking through some old things, sees the little shoes of the child and becomes filled with love, thinking of the child. So what is it? It's just a pair of shoes from the shoe store. But because they were worn by the child, the mother immediately thinks of the child and becomes absorbed in child consciousness. Similarly, the devotee sees everything is related to Krishna. The hints are given in Bhagavad Gita, Rasoham Apsukonteya, Prabhasmi Sashi Suryayo. I'm the light of the sun and the moon, and so on. Just to give us a hint how to see Krishna everywhere. Keshu Keshu Chapabeshu Chintyosi Bhagavan Maya. Arjuna asked, how can I think of you everywhere? And Krishna said, all right, I'll give you some hints. My vibhutis are there. And by seeing these vibhutis, yad yad vibhuti, vibhuti mat sattvam, srimad urjitam eva va tattadeva avagachatvam. Mamatejam sasambhavam. You'll think of me because you'll see that they're just little sparks of my opulence, my specific opulence. But the advanced devotee doesn't need any hints. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was seeing the hill of sand to be Govardhan in Puri. He was seeing the ocean to be the Jamuna. Oh, in this way, the devotee sees Krishna everywhere. And Srimati Radharani is the greatest devotee. Kimva prema rasamoy Krishner Swarup Tar Shokti Tar Shaha Hoy Ekarup. So this is another meaning of Krishnamai. Kimva. Kimva means or else, another meaning. Or Krishnamai means that she's identical with Lord Krishna, or she embodies the mellows of love. The energy of Lord Krishna is identical with him. Tar Shakti, Tar Shaha Hoy Ekarup. There's no difference between the Shakti and the person whose Shakti it is. Shakti, Shakti, Matayor, Abeda. Krishnamai has two different imports. First, a person who always thinks of Krishna, both within and without, and who always remembers only Krishna. Wherever he goes or whatever he sees is called Krishnamai. Also, since Krishna's personality is full of love, his loving potency, Radharani, being different, non-different from him, is called Krishnamai. Krishna Bancha Purti Rupa Kore Aradhane Oteva Radhika Nam Purane Vakane. Her worship, Aradhana, consists of fulfilling the desires of Lord Krishna. This is the best worship, just to please Krishna. Therefore, the Puranas call her Radhika. Purport: the name Radha is derived from the root word Aradhana. Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam Padam. Aradhana means worship. The personality who excels all in worshiping Krishna may therefore be called Radhika, the greatest servitor. Anaya radhito nunam bhagavan odir isharaha yanno vihaya govinda prito yam manayadraha. Truly, the personality of Godhead has been worshipped by her. Therefore, Lord Govinda, being pleased, has brought her to a lonely spot, leaving us all behind. This text is from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:30-28. Lord Krishna was with the gopis in the rasa dance, but he left all the gopis aside to be with Srimati Radharani. Krishna suddenly left the dance, and the gopis were, where has he gone? So they traced his footprints, and they saw that his footprints were with his footprints of one of the gopis. And so they said, Anaya aradhita nunam. Certainly this gopi has worshipped Bhagavan. Aradhita. The Lord has been worshipped especially by this gopi. They recognize that. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, Ishvara, Bhagavan Hari Ishvara, this is Krishna, Supreme Controller, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yatnat Vihaya, Govinda. That personality of Godhead, Govinda, Na Vihaya, He's left us aside. We're his best devotees. We've sold ourselves to him. We have no other interest than him. And we know also that he's interested in us. But Navihaya, he's left us aside. Why? Prita. Because he's been pleased by her. Why? Because of her aradhana. Because of her mood of pure service. Because of her mood of pure service. Her service is the best. In the spiritual world, the activities of Krishna and the gopis are all activities of devotional service. They're not activities of this material world. They're not activities of sense gratification. They're activities of devotional service. When I was working on proofreading, really, or little editing, of Nectar of Devotion, I raised a question to Srila Prabhupada about the chapter concerning compatible and incompatible rasas. There are some relationships with Krishna that are highly compatible and some that are highly incompatible. Like friendship and laughter, they're very compatible. And conjugal love and laughter, they're also very compatible. But conjugal love and ghastliness are not at all compatible. There's some example given in Nectar of Devotion. I don't remember exactly the verse, but it's, I know that my body is just a combination of mucus, bile, and air, but still I have conjugal affection for you, and so on. This is incompatible. This is incompatible. When there are loving dealings, then we don't want to remind our lover that, well, my body is really just a combination of hair, skin, stool, urine. Highly incompatible. In the relationship of parenthood, conjugal love, again, is not compatible. When there's some desire for conjugal dealings, we find a way to get away from our parents because the dealings are not compatible. So anyway, there were different combinations, but some of them, the way they were transcribed, were confusing. Something that was said to be compatible was also said to be incompatible. So I had a few questions of Srila Prabhupada. And one was whether dasya, service, was compatible with one of the relationships. And Prabhupada wrote me back and said that dasya is compatible with all of them because dasya is the basic principle of all the relationships. When there's a description of the relationships, dasya is the basic principle for all of them, service. It may not be in parenthood there's respectful service, but there's service. So all of these relationships, the friendship, it's not just that the cowherd boys are having a good time herding cows with Krishna. They're assisting Krishna. in herding the transcendental cows. So it's service. The parents are the best servants of the child. Always on call 24/7. The child is crying, the child needs this, the child needs that. The mother is always on call. She's not being paid anything, but out of love, she's always serving the needs of the child. Is he eating all right? Is he eating all right? And so on. Is he safe? Yashoda is always, is Krishna safe from the monkeys? Are the monkeys going to cause some trouble? Is he going to fall in the Jamuna? Balaram, you look after Krishna. Balaram, there's a relationship of fraternal love because they're brothers. But there's a little mixture of parental love also because Balaram is the elder brother. The elder brother has to look after the younger brother. So all of these things are there on the basis of service. The gopis are serving Krishna. They're serving Krishna in so many different ways. They don't. He's not dependent on them for sense gratification because he's Atmarama, he's self-satisfied. When we're dissatisfied, we go looking for sense gratification. But Krishna is self-satisfied. He doesn't have to look for happiness or pleasure anywhere else. But so what is he attracted to? He's attracted to service. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Bhaktya ham ekeyagraya. The service is the thing. Krishna went to Hastinapur and Duryodhana invited him for lunch, which meant super opulent because he's the crown prince. And Krishna said, nothing doing. You're the enemy of my devotees. I don't want your food. Because Krishna saw there's no bhakti there. It's just some scheming mentality. What can I get from Krishna? No, I'll go take lunch with Vidura. That meant very humble arrangement. But because he was a devotee, patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhakta bhaktya priyajati tadaham bhaktyuparatam ashnami. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments that Krishna is so enchanted by the love of the devotee that he'll eat the flower too. Patram, Krishna says, generally we say that ashnami means I accept, but literally it means I eat. And Chakravarti Thakur says he'll eat the flower also, if it's offered with love. One time Prabhupada said this flower includes cauliflower. But even the rose or champa, Krishna will eat that also if it's offered with love. When he went to the house of Vidura, Vidura's wife was peeling bananas for him, but she was so overwhelmed by ecstasy of Krishna being there, so carried away that she was offering the peels. And Krishna was eating them. Yes, very nice. In Ram Leela, that berries. Checking to see if the berry tastes good. Yes, it's good. You take it. Uchchishta. Generally, something first eaten by someone, we don't eat that. That's muchi, as we say, it's not clean. But Lord Ram accepted with great pleasure because it was offered with devotion. Like the mother sometimes tastes something to see if it's nice for the child. So Krishna's accepting the service of the devotees, serving the loving mood of the devotees. It's not that he's in need of what's being offered. Prabhupada said Krishna doesn't need your rice, dal, and chapatis. And what is that? And we were reading in the earlier verse, Sarva Lakshmi. Srimati Radharani is the source of all the Lakshmis. Ananda Chinmaya. Rasa Pratibhavata Bhita Birya Eva. There's so many Lakshmis throughout the Vaikuntha planets. And they're all expansions of Srimati Radharani. And what is that? Lakshmi Sahasra Satasam Brahma Sevyam. These Lakshmis are all serving Krishna with great love and devotion. So Krishna's, what more does he need? He has thousands and millions of Lakshmis or gopis who are all serving him. But still, Srimati Radharani's service is superior. So Krishna is accepting her service above all. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Any questions? Yes.
Previously, the external reasons, yet we hear them. I just thought of it when you said the positive. Everything is contained in mantra. And for that to be external, is hard for me to understand when that feels like the most internal.
The external means Krishna Prema Pradayate, distributing. External is distributing, internal is tasting himself. Just like here, we're chanting Hare Krishna. We have kirtan, we do bhajans. That's our own business. And then we go out on the street and we distribute in Union Square or wherever it is. That's the external business. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his external purpose in coming, to distribute Sankirtan and distribute Krishna consciousness, Krishna Prema also. That's the external business. Not superficial, just like we say, oh, that's external, meaning superficial. No, it's not superficial. It's giving the greatest gift, Mahavananya. He's the most generous. He's giving Krishna Prema. But that's his external business. And what is his internal business? Well, that happens in the Gambhira. He'll be only accompanied by Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Roy, just 2 or 3 close associates, and relishing the most exalted feelings of Krishna love for Krishna. That's the internal business. Yes, Archita Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for the nice class. This last verse brings up some incompatibility, as you mentioned, because we know from 83, Sarva Lakshmi.
Maybe we're turned up a little high or something, because I'm getting more echo than signal. I can't.
Yeah, the second mic, yeah, that's better. So, Sarva Lakshmi Maya, she's the source of all the goddesses of fortune. She's also the source of all the gopis. Yes. So in this last verse, they're thinking that he's taking her
you're a little fast also.
Yeah.
Srimati Radharani is the source of all the Lakshmis and all
And the gopis.
And
But here in this last verse, they're saying that Krishna is more pleased with her. So that brings up the question, if they're all her expansions, how can Krishna be more pleased?
how can Krishna there?
Be more pleased? Because later on he even says that I'm so
Lakshmis
pleased.
are all Srimati. Yeah, we do have too much echo here. It's all pinging. Lakshmis are all his expansions.
These gopis are
Her
expansions.
the
Yeah.
Lakshmis, the gopis. So how can Krishna be more pleased with her?
Yeah, because later on he tells the gopis, I'm so pleased with you, I can't repay you for your service.
Yes, but still she's the source. Just someone, you're giving gold, you're giving more gold. I can't repay you, this is so much gold. And then they give you the whole mine. They sign over the mine. Oh, that's it. The mine is more than any of the individual ornaments, coins, or anything else. You just gave me everything. Sarva Lakshmi. This was Lakshmi number 1, number 2, number 3, number 16,108. But when you come to Srimati Radharani, she's all of them together. They're all included within her transcendental form. So you can evaluate like that.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
What is more important, Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya's internal reasons or external reasons for coming?
What is more important, Lord Chaitanya's external reasons or internal reasons?
Or both?
Or both. Well, for us, what's good? Is that? No, it's this one also. It's, but yeah, that one made it worse. For us, the external. If he'd only come to relish, we'd be rotting, right? We'd be somewhere on the street, looking for money, looking for this, we'd be lost. So for us, the external reason is crucial. Without his external program, we'd be nowhere. His internal reason is for himself. The internal reason is for himself, although he shares that also. Therefore, Chaitanya Charitamrita is relating the internal business of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we're being attracted by that also. But for the conditioned souls, the external things is what's needed. Sambandha. There are 3 stages, sambandha, abhideya, prayojana. Sambandha means to establish the relationship. Sambandha, then abhideya means once there's a relationship, then there'll be some dealings. And then prayojana. In the final stage, there'll be love. And just like we get married, so now there's sambandha, there's a relationship, husband and wife. And then there'll be pleasing dealings between husband and wife. He buys her some diamond earrings, she cooks for him. And in the mature stage, it just becomes love. So the world is missing sambandha. There's no relationship. My relationship is griha, kshetra, sutta, apta. Relationship with my home, my property, my wife and children, my other relatives, my money. That's what my life is all about. Janasya mohoyam aham mameti. Bewildered by the material energy, I'm just thinking of this body and everything related to the body. And what does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu have to do with me? What does Krishna have to do with me? You know, that belongs to some sect of people from India who wear funny paint on their nose, on their nose, on their face. So what does that have to do with me? With Krishna? What is some Indian thing? Or even God. What do we have to do with God? God is a myth. God is a crutch. God is a blah, blah, blah. We have no relationship. Or impersonal. Yes, we believe in God. God is everywhere. God is everything. God is love. God is, but there's no God, no personal. And without person, where's the relationship? I'm God, you're God. Then where's the relationship? Relationship means there has to be two. God and you. So Krishna, Mahaprabhu comes to give, first of all, that relationship. And our preaching is especially on that point, that you have a relationship with God. There is God, first of all. And we all have a relationship with God. Sambandha. And then, if you're interested, we can teach you something about how to nourish that relationship, how to revive that relationship. Chant Hare Krishna, read these books, honor Krishna Prasadam, and hear something about Krishna, associate with the devotees. Begin your dealings, render service. Jayananda Prabhu. Here, you know how to use a hammer? Help build the Rath Yatra car. So that's the beginning. Somehow begin your service. Do some service. And then we'll train how to serve, how to clean the temple. Even Prabhupada himself, he was showing, I think Kaushalya, how to clean the temple. You know you're not doing it right. You do it this way. One zone, next zone, next zone, next zone. Training how to serve. How to worship the deity. How to perform all the activities of devotional service. Abhideya. And prayojana means love for Krishna. That will come. But we don't go out to the streets of New York and teach people the intricacies of loving dealings with Krishna described in places like this. One should not preach these things to the unfaithful. For them, therefore Prabhupada said these business of Krishna and the gopis is not for back to Godhead. He said back to Godhead is on the first two stages. To awaken someone, sambandha, and then train, abhideya. The most important thing is the love. But if we just go to love, it will be a failure. Where's love without a relationship? Where's love without dealings within that relationship? Pradyumna Prabhu made that point about the kirtan. The kirtan has to be on the basis of a relationship. If I don't know my relationship with Krishna, then what am I chanting? So sambandha for us, the external. And then gradually, and the internal business, what is that? Gaurava Bhange. Pujala Ragapata Gaurava Bhange. The internal business will keep above our heads. Not that we'll think, yes, I'm ready to go. Pull me in. Where's the rasa dance? Rasa dance, I'm all set. We'll keep those things above our heads. What rasa dance? What can I understand? confidential. Therefore, Srimati Radharani's name isn't even directly mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. It's indirectly, Aradhana, the person, the gopi whose Aradhana, whose service was the best. That's as far as it goes. Sukadev Goswami wasn't there in front of Parikshit Maharaj. Radhe, Radhe. No. Hardly, because that explanation is given also, that if he'd begun uttering the name of Srimati Radharani, he would have gone into too much ecstasy, and then the Bhagavatam wouldn't have been finished. But in any case, it's not that, Bhattahari Prabhu, I've quoted him in my book, said it's not such a cheap thing, the name of Srimati Radharani, the dearmost internal energy of Krishna. Okay. Something else? Yes.
Just to your last point about, that we cannot understand or approach these confidential aspects because of the...
Not understand or taste.
Understand or approach the more confidential elements because of the contamination of material conception.
We can approach them, these confidential things, but they have to be approached very carefully and in the right way, and in the at the right time also.
Yeah, because I was going to say that, you were saying that we don't share with people who are unfaithful, and I was thinking, but even for myself, being, my whole life in Krishna consciousness, I still feel like I don't have qualification. I still feel like I still have too much material conception of things. So I guess I'm asking is, of course, you were mentioning about service being the basic principle. And so just if you could speak more about the process of purifying our consciousness, because that material conception of even just, like you were saying, when we were dissatisfied, then we look for sense gratification. But the contamination of the mind is so much that we'll get some satisfaction. And so it's just like, so backwards, the mentality. So to purify that and to be able to actually...
It's good for us to be conscious that way of our own impurities and not think that now I'm situated in my Siddha Deha and all of that. I was in England, when I was in England a couple of weeks back, was it England or was it Netherlands? Maybe it was Netherlands. Anyway, one young man during the class, he asked a question about, what was it? Some question about, let me think what it was. This is during the Sunday feast class. Oh, the importance of understanding our particular individual relationship with Krishna. That Srila Rupa Goswami has emphasized that it's crucial for us, it's essential for us to understand our own particular individual relationship with Krishna. Could you comment on this? So my comment was that Srila Rupa Goswami said, Anya Bilashita Shunyam, Jnana Karmadhyanavrtam. And Rupa Goswami said, first become free from all tinges of karma and gyan. Let's get to that first. As you said, get free from material desires and contaminations. Then later we can talk about my own particular, if we're going to talk about it, we can think about it anyway, our own particular individual relationship with Krishna. But for now, first thing is, Anyabhilash, Prabhupada said we're anya bilashita purna. We're full of everything else but Krishna consciousness. So we need to purify our hearts. And in the mature stage, then these things will automatically come. In pure consciousness, when the heart is pure, Krishna consciousness is automatically manifest. What is that in the Bhagavad Gita? Jitatmana prashantasya paramatma samahita. Krishna says, when one's mind and senses are controlled, jitatmana, and they're prashantasya, they're satisfied, then paramatma samahita, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is automatically reached. What is that? Vishaya chodiya kobe shuddha habimon. Narottam Das Thakur is praying of Vishaya chodiya kobe. When will I give up this habit of always wanting to gratify my senses? Shuddha habiman. Then my mind will be pure. Then I'll understand Vrindavan. So it's always, therefore, Saraswati Thakur will take the lower position. And we'll keep these higher things above us. And if Krishna desires, then something may descend. But not that I'll catapult myself into the kunjas and leap in there in my siddhadeha. I later found out that the boy who asked me the question, first of all, he's not a member of our society, and second of all, he's actively gay. So, we want to have an active homosexual life and at the same time understand the most confidential dealings of Radha and Krishna. What are you talking about? The first thing is to purify our consciousness. Therefore, Prabhupada said first deserve, then desire. Thank you. Yes, Padumna.
Ramarj, is maturity in devotional life...
Closer, closer.
Is maturity in devotional life, is that defined by just natural realization at the right time? Or does it come from permission?
Does it come from?
Permission of the Spirit, permission.
From?
Permission.
Permission.
Permission of the spiritual master or senior people.
At the right time, everything will be given. Permission, realization. You can't get any realization without Krishna's permission or spiritual master's permission. Without permission, just like they have those doors in the airport, or even here, but like in the airport, they're prominent. Unless you dial in the code, you can't get in. And you can't dial it in unless you have it. And you won't have it unless they give it to you. They even tell you, it's a federal offense to try to enter this door without permission. You want to get in there where something important is, but unless you have permission, not only do you not get it, but you go to jail for, violating federal law. You thought you were going to, find out something secret, and instead you went to jail. That was the secret. You can't get, unless you have permission, you're denied access. And if you try to gain access unlawfully, you'll go to jail. So, one can get access, but permission. It's not just a formal thing that the spiritual master says, now you have my permission, but If we serve the spiritual master and the spiritual master is pleased, then artha prakashante, everything will be manifest by the grace of Krishna and the spiritual master. Shall we stop here? I think so. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Prakashante Mahatma. Sarvatra hoy. Nijas Ishtadev's birthday.
Sorry, Maharaj. Narada Muni Prabhu also had a question.
Oh, well, sorry, it's too late for Narada Muni's question, but let's see what he has anyway. Yeah, it's a good question, but why did you come now? Too late. It's over.
What's the good question?
Mentioned Krishna Prema Pradayate is the external reason for Mahaprabhu's appearance. So I'm wondering if you can elaborate the importance of us also developing our spiritual depth so that we can have effective substance in our public harinam and preaching. Actually, for a public harinam and preaching, you don't need to know, you don't have to have Krishna Prema, be immersed in Ujjwala Nil money or something. Give substance. The first thing is follow 4 regulative principles, otherwise you can't give anything. And chant 16 rounds a day. And repeat what you've heard from the spiritual master, either the mantra or the instruction. And that's substance. It's not that, oh, no, you don't have any substance. You're just going out there and telling people, mantras, parshas, takanteya, namaste, subhara, tatade, anta, praptir, you're just speaking Bhagavad Gita. You don't have any substance. What can you give people? You haven't gone into Krishna Prema, so you can't give any substance. What will they know? Krishna Prema. You chant 16 good rounds, follow 4 regular principles, chant Hare Krishna, and give the message you receive. Acharyas, that won't have substance. That's plenty of substance. When it gets to substance beyond that, we're warned, don't put it out there. In the Bible it said, cast not thy pearls before swine, lest they turn and render thee. You're being generous and they turn and stick their tusks into you. So we're not advised, to share those things with people. We may have it or not have it, but in any case, that's not what we're going to give people in Union Square. Now we want to have that. We're meant to have that. If we have that, we'll be more effective in every respect. But it's not that this is what we really need to do. Let's see how he's phrased it. Developing our spiritual depth. Spiritual depth doesn't mean that unless you know your swarup, your siddhadeha, and you don't have spiritual depth, then what are you going to share with people? Your public harinam and preaching. If you don't know your relationship with Krishna, what can you give? You have no depth. that was the case, Prabhupada would have been, what's the word, cramming those things into us so that we could effectively spread Krishna consciousness. We're supposed to be going on Harinam, we're supposed to be preaching. We have no depth. You better get some, so we're getting Prabhupada will, say, okay, get in here and let's put the real stuff into you so that you can be never did. If that's what we're meant to do, why didn't he tell us? Chant Hare Krishna. Go out. Hare Dakotayaka Krishna. Chant Hare Krishna.
A little Saraswati preaching.
Yeah.
Do you know Krishna?
Do you know who Krishna is? Krishna is the Supreme Personality.
Maybe it's the question, what is spiritual depth? What does it look like? How does it manifest?
Anya Bilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadhyanavrtam. For us, that's like so deep we could drown. Anya Bilashita Shunyam Jnana Karma. We're full of, if we're full of Gyan, we're doing good. Mostly we're full of desires for sense gratification. Karma. And then, once we're past that, then we're full of speculations, impersonalism, this, that. Jnana Karma Adi. And so on, and so on, and so on. Adi means and so on. Desire for fame, desire for profit, desire for adoration. We're there at Union Square to preach and we're checking out, Suzu's form. Depth is, if you're Jnana Karmadhyanavrtam, you're going to be deep like anything. And Anukulyena Krishna, cultivating everything favorable for the service of Krishna. That includes all of these things, but not that until you've reached that, what are you going to give them? What's the use of even going on? You don't have depth. If you don't know whether you're a Priyanarma Sakhi or another kind of Sakhi, what's the use? You can give the basic science of Krishna and again. Oh, that's not enough. That's not deep enough. Out in Union Square, they're so deep in, intoxication, gambling, meat eating, illicit sex. Anyone says that you're not this body, it's like, you just threw them into the 100-foot part of the pool. Right? That's plenty of depth for them. Just that you're not this body. It's huge. You say it to somebody. If they get it, it's like it revolutionizes their life. Life is not meant for sense gratification. It's like total revelation. Prahlad Maharaj's teachings aren't, do they lack depth? Because he didn't get into, what goes on in the kunjas of Vrindavan. So Prahlad Maharaj, we're not in Prahlad Maharaj, no depth. Guru Maharaj, what depth? How deep is Prahlad Maharaj's love? How deep is Guru Maharaj? How deep is first canto, second